The moment you realize something is wrong. Most people don't realize they're wasting their life until one day, something inside them whispers, "This isn't where I'm supposed to be." It happens quietly, not with noise, not with drama, but with a feeling, deep, uncomfortable, almost painful, reminding you that you were meant for more than the life you're currently living. You wake up every morning, you go through your routine, you check your phone, you scroll through other people's lives, and somewhere in the background, a small voice keeps asking, "Is this it? Is this the life you promised yourself?" And the truth is, we don't waste our lives because we don't have potential. We waste our lives because we don't have direction. Direction is not about knowing every step. Direction is about knowing the next right step. But when you don't know where you're going, every path looks the same. Every distraction feels important. Every comfort starts looking like purpose. People say they're lost. No, they're not lost. They're simply not listening to themselves. Because your life always gives you signals. Moments where you feel bored, stuck, empty, frustrated, drained. These moments are not weaknesses. These moments are messages. Your mind is telling you, this life you're living is too small for the person you're becoming. But here's the problem. We push those messages away. We silence that voice. We drown it with entertainment, with excuses, with routines, with people who expect us to stay the same. And slowly, without even noticing, you start surviving instead of living. You start repeating days instead of creating them. You start waiting for weekends instead of building a life you don't need to escape from. This is where most people waste their life. Not in a moment, but in a pattern. A pattern of ignoring the signs. A pattern of accepting a life that doesn't excite you. A pattern of saying maybe later to every dream you have. But here's the truth you need to hear. Your life doesn't change when you get older. Your life changes when you get honest. Honest about what you want. Honest about what's missing. Honest about the fact that deep inside, you're not living your real potential. Part 1 is simple. You must acknowledge that something is wrong. Because you can't find direction until you admit you're not headed where you want to go. Why you feel lost and why it's not your fault. Most people think they are lost because they made the wrong choices. But the truth is, you feel lost because no one ever taught you how to listen to yourself. From childhood, you were trained to follow instructions, not to find purpose. You were taught what to think, not how to think. You were told what success looks like, not how to define it for yourself. So when you grow up, you look around, hoping someone will tell you what to do next. You wait for signs. You wait for motivation. You wait for permission. And every day you wait, your life quietly slips through your fingers. You see, feeling lost doesn't mean you're on the wrong path. Feeling lost means you're on a path that doesn't belong to you. That's why you feel tired even after resting. That's why you feel empty, even when you're busy. That's why everything feels fine, but nothing feels meaningful. People don't lose direction because they are weak. People lose direction because they are surrounded by noise. Noise of society telling you who to be. Noise of friends telling you what's practical. Noise of family telling you to be safe. Noise of comparison, competition, and expectations. In all this noise, you forget one thing. Your life is not a race. Your life is a message. And if that message doesn't come from you, it will always feel wrong. Think about it. Every time you followed someone else's advice, didn't you feel something missing? Every time you tried to live like others, didn't your inner voice push back? Every time you ignored your passion, didn't your heart feel heavier? There's a reason. Because your mind can pretend, but your soul never lies. People say they don't know what to do with their life. But deep inside, they do know. They just don't trust that inner voice. Because that voice doesn't come with a guarantee. It doesn't come with certainty. It doesn't come with a map. But it comes with something more powerful. It comes with truth. And the moment you trust that truth, even if it scares you, even if no one agrees, even if the path looks unclear, that's the moment life stops happening to you and starts happening for you. Part 2 ka message simple hai. You are not lost. You are disconnected from yourself, your purpose, your own inner direction. Reconnect, and your path will start to become clear. Finding your direction starts with one question. Most people spend their entire life asking the wrong questions. Which job should I take? Which business should I start? What if I fail? What will people think? But direction doesn't start with answers. Direction starts with a question. A single, powerful question that separates people who drift from people who live with purpose. What kind of life do I want to look back on when I'm 80? Not tomorrow, not next year, not what's trending, not what others expect. Just you at 80. Looking back at your story, what do you want that story to say? Do you want it to say you played it safe? Do you want it to say you followed the crowd? Do you want it to say you spent your life living someone else's version of success? Or do you want it to say, I lived, I tried, I grew, I built something that mattered, I became someone I'm proud of? The reason this question is powerful is simple. It removes fear, it removes pressure, it removes the society's noise. It forces your mind to think long term. It forces your heart to speak honestly. And for the first time, you begin to see what truly matters to you. Because the truth is, your direction isn't something you find outside. It's something you uncover inside. When you imagine yourself at 80, suddenly, that job you hate doesn't matter. That person's judgment doesn't matter. That temporary failure doesn't matter. That fear of embarrassment doesn't matter. What matters is whether your life meant something. And here's the magic. When you ask yourself this question honestly, your mind starts showing you hints. The kind of work that excites you. The kind of people who inspire you. The kind of impact you want to leave. The kind of growth you crave. These hints become your compass. Because direction is not a map. It's not a perfect plan. It's not a straight line. Direction is simply knowing the type of life you want to build and taking steps that align with that life every single day. If you want a creative life, create something today. If you want a meaningful life, help someone today. If you want a courageous life, do something uncomfortable today. If you want a free life, start building skills today. Your future self is watching. Your future self is waiting. And the life you want at 80 starts with the choices you make right now. Part 3 ka message simple hai. You don't need clarity for the whole journey. You just need clarity for the kind of life you want. Because when the destination becomes clear, the path begins to appear. Small steps, big direction, the system that changes your life. Most people never find direction because they think direction requires massive action. They believe they need to make big decisions, big changes, big moves. But the truth is, your life doesn't change with big moments. It changes with small systems you repeat every single day. Direction isn't created in a single day. Direction is created by the habits you choose, the environment you build, and the standards you set for yourself. Let me tell you a simple truth. You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You fall to the level of your systems. Everyone dreams big. Only a few build systems that support those dreams. Think about it. You want a better life? Start with a better morning. You want a clearer direction? Start with a clearer mind. You want more discipline? Start with one consistent habit. Because one small change, done every day, is more powerful than 10 big changes, done once. Success is not a lightning strike. Success is a slow sunrise. So here's the system that gives you direction. A daily moment of clarity. Just 10 minutes, no phone, no noise. Ask yourself, what did I do today that took me toward the life I want? This one question builds awareness. Awareness builds direction. Direction builds purpose. One small win every day, not a big win. A small, meaningful action. Reading one page. Writing one idea. Learning one skill. Improving one weakness. Taking one uncomfortable step. Small wins give you momentum. Momentum gives you belief. Belief gives you direction. Remove one distraction. Every day, remove one small thing that wastes your time. 10 minutes of useless scrolling. A negative conversation. A bad habit. A place that drains your energy. Removing distractions creates space. And in that space, direction appears. And surround yourself with signals. Put reminders around you. A quote on your phone. A goal on your wall. A picture of the life you want. A schedule you commit to. Because your environment shapes your actions more than your motivation ever will. And then review your progress weekly. Not to judge yourself, but to understand yourself. Ask, what worked? What didn't? What needs to change next week? This is how you build a life with direction. Not through pressure, but through alignment. People with direction aren't smarter. They aren't luckier. They aren't more talented. They simply do small things consistently until consistency becomes identity and identity becomes direction. Part 4 ka message simple hai. Direction is not found. Direction is built. One small step, one small habit, one small choice at a time. Your new life begins the moment you choose it. At some point in life, Every person stands at a crossroads. One path is familiar, comfortable, predictable, safe. The other path is unknown, uncertain, challenging, maybe even scary. And most people choose the familiar path, not because it's right, but because it's easy. But here's the truth. Easy paths create difficult lives. Difficult paths create meaningful lives. You already know which path you're supposed to take. You've always known. Because your heart has been whispering your direction for years. You were just too afraid to listen. You are not waiting for motivation. You are waiting for permission. Permission from people who don't understand your vision. Permission from a society that doesn't know your dreams. Permission from a world that wants you to be average. But today, right now, give yourself permission. Permission to grow. Permission to fail. Permission to try again. Permission to choose a different life. Permission to choose your life. Because direction isn't something outside you. Direction is already inside you, waiting for courage to wake it up. And courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the decision that your future is more important than your fear.